interesting and cool for you today. I was photographing a Lightship UFO and it flashed me. So I wanted to show you that. This is a view of the sky. And this is a way that you can find light ships also. I just want to point this out. If you take a look at this, you'll see that this part of the cloud bank is super glowy, and it is very glowy in sort of a form, a roundish form. This is the area that the flash came from because this is where the Lightship UFO is hiding. So we're going to go through the raw footage, and then I'm going to show you this. This is going to be a close-up of the flash, and we'll go through it frame by frame. I also wanted to point out that seeing these thumbnails here, that's where you can actually see the Lightship the best. See this round spot in the sky is clearly glowing in a different way than other parts of the sky. The third thing that I'm going to show you on this video is lighting edited photograph. So I took a screenshot of the video, and then what I wanted to do was reveal in another way this flash that came from the Lightship/UFO. So we're going to then discuss this in detail. And what I want to show you here before I start the raw footage is when I adjust the lighting edits, what happens is an array of color shows up here. Now, what I want to say is that a lot of people can sense this kind of color. Now, of course, these are lighting edits, so they're specific to this photograph, but it is reminiscent and similar to how I perceive color, texture, changes in frequency when I look up at the sky and can see phenomena. Because I have clairvoyance, some people can see auras. So there are a lot of human beings that are able to perceive beyond the spectrum of our physical eyes. So when you hear me talk about colors and things in the raw footage, it's because I am perceiving that sort of the extra color. That's the first thing. The second thing is that with my eyes, I could also see color variations that are richer than what comes across with the digital camera. And that is why I also did the lighting edits, for example, in this particular photo, because I want to communicate to you the depth of the experience. So here we go. Okay, see this spot in the clouds? Can you see how it's a different color blue than the clouds around it? Do you see how it has this almost a blue? Yeah, did you see that bright blue stripe to it? Okay, this is a lightship hiding in the clouds. It's a higher dimensional galactic frequencies right there. And that sort of, I love to call it galactic blue color, is the first thing that I noticed. I noticed this time. See, before it kind of flashed us this time when I expanded the video, there wasn't any flash. Anyway, there it is. And it's showing the relation to the ground. Okay, so we are looking at right now this is a close-up of that spot that I showed you in the sky where I could see different colors. Now, in the video, it's less differentiated, but when in the first part of the video. But now that I've zoomed in, you can see here that you can see the colors that are showing. There's greens and purples, and you'll see in a minute, there's just some pastel patterning in here. Now, what I want to show you is the close-up of how this that there is something hiding in the clouds and that it flashes me. And this is so cool. So I'm going to play the video and we'll narrate through it. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm going slowly through the sequence to show you the flash. What you can see now here I've stopped at mid-flash. What you can see is there's a kind of a rectangular-ish area here that is key in this flash. And if you focus in right here, there's almost two round spots here that the flash appears to be emanating from. The other thing is, now that I've stopped at mid-flash, you can see more of the purples and blues that are sort of the subtle colors here. There's something else that I wanted to point out, which is that the main part of this lightship is here, okay? But you can see that there's almost like an energy around it, whether it's some kind of a force field or this is the true. I feel like it's some kind of force field. I feel like the true higher dimensional object is somewhere right in here. So I'm going to play it again. And what I'm doing in this video is going back and forth to show you the flash. And you can see it's not a flash in the sky. It's not a flash from the sun. The sun is not anywhere in this photo. It's a flash from a vessel that is hiding in the clouds. And there it is again. You see that when it, you can see how the flash right here, first right here, you can see how when it flashes, it expands. And it makes that area, this whole area, glow. That seems to have the force field. And then I want to just show you the when I pull back here. Let's see, to give you a little sense. Yeah, right there. So you can see that this is the area that we're looking at. I wanted to show you this screenshot that I took of the object that is flashing. Now, what I did with this screenshot was I then color edited the screenshot. And what I mean by that is I edited the light, and that changes the colors in the photograph. So I like to look at making light adjustments in a photo because sometimes it will reveal the sources of phenomena, or it will reveal the shape of phenomena, and it can be very interesting. So in the previous shot we just saw, where I was going back and forth to show you the flash, this is a screenshot of that rectangular-ish area that was where the flash was coming from. And then I did the lighting adjustments, adjusting things like contrast and exposure and so on to try to pop or to reveal what is hiding in the clouds that is making this flash. So here's what this photo reveals to me. First, you can see the different gradients of color here at the edges. And here's some of those pastel colors that we were talking about before. Now, of course, the way that I edited the lighting, it popped the blue. I could have edited the lighting and popped other aspects of this other. I could have emphasized other colors besides the blue. So the point I'm making here is not about the specific colors that you're seeing here. But the light editing, adjusting the lighting, what it reveals is the gradients of colors. So what it reveals is that no matter what these colors actually are, okay, because I did do the lighting adjustments, it reveals that there are many gradients of color, and so many, which would be produced by various frequencies. So you can see that that's the case. And those gradients of color are coming right in here around this object. So we talked about the fact that it seemed like there was a bubble of energy around the center here where the flash is coming from. And you can see that here. There's a bubble of energy. And within that energy, the gradients of color are, so there's gradients of frequency that creates the differentiation in color. So there's gradients of color or frequency. And there's some kind of sort of an energy emanating. You can also see it here in the changing of the colors of the lights, going from the bright light that's flashing to this gradient, to the next gradient, to the next and the next. So what this photo is showing is it's showing movements. It's showing that there is a very, very, very bright light at the center here of this photo, and this is not the sun. So I've adjusted the contrast and the exposure to pop this. But what's important about, and adjusting the exposure will brighten the light potentially. But what's important about this is that you can see the background is very dark. Okay, so in making the lighting adjustments, the background is dark and this light is still incredibly bright. And now look at, as we're looking at this together, I'm just looking at this, look at that. See, it's almost like a ray. When it emits that light, it goes out basically in a beam from this entity or ship or UFO. It goes out in a beam of light. It's actually directing this light beam outward. Isn't that cool? So I thought that it would be helpful I always love to sort of try and peek at what's behind the scenes here. I can feel it with my senses, but it's always very satisfying to have further visual evidence. This is Solaris. Thanks for watching today. If you would like and subscribe, that'd be awesome. It's been so great hanging out with you. And come on over to the blog at solarismodalis.com.